Fight to Fame. Mike Tyson, who's my partner, would like to launch his global project in Africa. So imagine a project that has the potential for tremendous multiples, so great profit opportunity. One that also sponsors the Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations. I was there about 2 weeks ago speaking. But one that also serves the human family. A project that is safe because it uses the public ledger, it uses blockchain technology. And one that helps countries get into digital currencies, because everyone knows that paper money is going away in the next few years, and it's important to get Africa on board for the new digital currencies that are coming. And like the Olympics, our project has a few goals, and that is to shine a spotlight on Ghana, for example. Why is that important? Well, it attracts investment and tourism, and really just it makes people aware of the great things about the country. It's as Dr. Nana says, it's like a marketing for the country. It's like a big advertisement globally for it. I was on the Olympic Committee for 2016, and I was hired to write commercials to help my fellow citizens understand why the Olympics were so good to bring to their town, about how it would bring good things. And I think this project is the same way. And not just to 1 or 2 countries, but our goal is all, in the end, 195 countries. Well, you don't have to imagine that anymore, because I want to welcome you to Fight to Fame. We are a entertainment and sports project, co-founded by Stan Larimer. So Stan Larimer is involved in blockchain technology. He invented BitShares and EOS, which are like the kind of the cutting edge technology for that. And his partner is also my partner, Mike Tyson, our partner, Mike Tyson. I'm the global operations chairman. So it's kind of my job to bring this to the world. So in just the last few weeks, I've been in Dubai and Tokyo and LA and New York talking about the project. But when people hear blockchain, they ask me to explain what it is. I think the easiest way to understand it is to know where it fits in the evolution of technology. So when you think about communications and technology, it really started with the telegraph, right? From there, it went to the telephone and the radio, the TV. Technology advanced to the computers used to fill a whole room. My dad used to sell computers in the 60s. And it was a room this size to do, simple math. Then it moved to the desktop with Steve Jobs and did that with Apple. And then computers went to the phone, right? They went mobile. And then the internet came along, and it changed everything. Then the information started going into the cloud. So it was easier to store data in the cloud than it is to have it on every individual computer. Well, think of blockchain as just the next step. It's the next technology. So cryptocurrency, blockchain, all is just the next evolution of technology. We've got a token, and that's just going to work through our system. So when people want to register for our fights, they'll buy a token. It'll be $1, US dollar, and they can register for fights on our website. They'll win tokens, and that'll be the prizes. And so it's kind of the blood circulating through our system, our ecosystem. So as for me, I started writing computer code when I was 3, and I sold my first software company by the time I was 7. That's a joke. But I went to business school in Chicago at Kellogg, and I write TV commercials. That's my job. So this is my wife, Mary. She gave me my 2nd Emmy Award. So it's kind of like the Oscars for television. Yep. So Mike is our chairman of the events committee. So his role is to not only attract, because just his name, worldwide, everyone loves him. And so just his name alone brings attention and media and everything for the project. But he's also in charge of all the events. So he'll be overseeing them, which is it's really cool. So he grew up in the poorest part of New York. And he has a high voice and he has a lisp. And he told me that as a boy, he was always getting picked on. And that's how he learned how to fight. And then, he ran into his mentor and eventually got into the ring and had to fight his way to fame as well. He was the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. I was going to say the best fighter of all time, but I've been watching some of your boxers. You got some great boxers over history. So we have 5 engines. Think of this as like a factory, this project. So we take traditional businesses like fights, a TV show, movies, merchandise like T-shirts with the logo on it, and gaming and gambling in countries where that's legal. So our secret formula, it's pretty simple. We are a factory for movie stars. We take fighters, turn them into movie stars. We take fighters and we give them a direct path to Hollywood. At the heart of this, and that's why I'm glad you're here, George, at the heart of this whole project is fights. That's what all this is about. So what Mike wanted in setting up this project was, he said, let's find fighters around the world, and especially in underprivileged countries and in countries where there's not as much support for boxing. Let's identify the good fighters. Let's teach them how to fight. Let's nurture them. Let's coach them. And that's that's how this whole project got started. So Tyson looks pretty good there, doesn't he? But then, I'm going to go back one. Wait, I got one more slide to show you. Look at that. It's pretty dramatic, isn't it? Man. So Mike's goal, 100 million fighters worldwide in this project. And when he first told me that, I said, Mike, that sounds too high. And he said, there's 85 million fighters just in China. 85 million fighters. He's looking for 100. So, again, 195 countries. Now, here's what's a little different about this. We're going to be open to men and women, young and old. So it's not just, the 20-year-old male, right? Rich and poor, open to the whole world. And there's 16,000 martial arts studios. And so as we were talking about this project, Mike said, maybe we do this is a global fighting competition, not just a boxing competition. So we're going to be working with Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu and kickboxing. So there's going to be mixed martial arts as part of this as well. There'll be separate competitions for that. So this just about 2 weeks ago in Hollywood, I met with, we call him Paco. That's his local name for the World Boxing Organization president. And we're about to sign a contract with them, and they're going to take care of all of our sanctioning, make sure everything's legitimate. It's very important to Mike that this be fair and legal and everything up on board. All the taxes get paid, everything else. Our other partner is WCK, which is Muay Thai, which is martial arts. And they'll be the sanctioning body for that. So what happens is, let's say you're a fighter here in Accra, and you want to get involved in the competition. So you just go to our app or our website and buy a token. Like I said, the tokens are going to be $1, and set up a profile. So you just take a video on your phone, upload it, maybe about a minute long. Talk about why Mike should have you in his contest. And that's it. So it's almost like an old-fashioned, I think of it like a trading card. And then that's where now we're taking kind of old school and new school and combining them together. So we're using blockchain technology. And there's something called smart contracts. It's basically the way the computers talk to each other, where ahead of time you make an agreement on what's going to be the terms of this contract. So whether it's the tracking the contestants, tracking who's winning along the way, it's all done on the computer. So when you start to move into bigger money, you need to make this thing global, right? And so American Idol in America, $100 million last year in revenue. we want to create an American Idol in different regions around the world. So example, I was in Beijing not too long ago, and CCTV, who's like their CNN, CCTV Sports wants to have the rights to this project for that region, so for Asia. So this thing's really big, as you can tell. So each episode's going to have the fights, but like the Olympics, they're going to follow the fighters home. So they tell their story about their struggles and kind of the way the Olympics really does a great job telling the personal struggles and the drama. We're going to be doing the same thing. What's going to be cool is we're taking action stars from the past, like a Jackie Chan or Jet Li, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we're going to have them be the judges on the TV show. But then they'll also be the mentors. So they'll get everybody will get some fighters, and there'll be competitions on the show itself. And again, on the app, people can vote for their favorite fighter. They can give them a tip. They can support their country by voting for the fighter from their region. And they'll get a popularity index. It's kind of like a score. Highest score goes on to the next episode. The winners in each region, then, we fly to Hollywood, and that's where I come in. I've got friends that are acting coaches and stuntmen coaches, and we'll teach the fighters how to do it. I was telling George, trying to teach a pretty actor how to fight is hard, but taking a fighter and teaching him how to act, we can do that. Okay. Third thing is movies. So we've already created these global stars because these people will be famous around the world already. Well, let's have some fun with that. So that's IP Man that Mike Tyson was in recently. You saw it? It's a great movie, isn't it? And so we're gonna make movies like that. We're gonna do what's happened is, and this was one of my partners is friends with Sylvester Stallone, and he said, we have a real problem in Hollywood. All the action stars are getting too old because these movies are hard to make, right? And so we want to pass the torch from the old generation to the next generation, guys your age, And then we're going to make franchises. So like Fast and Furious, I just watched Fast and Furious. I think the 8th one. We're gonna choose movies that have a long life to them too. So imagine one of our fighters being on Instagram wearing the Fight to Fame shirt and talking about the upcoming episode. It's going to have tremendous exposure. Star Wars raised $35 billion just from T-shirts and toys and things. So we see a lot of profit opportunity in that as well. And we're going to be working with Alibaba and with Amazon and eBay to have our token be available and used within their system. So it took the telephone took 75 years for the telephone to get 100 million users. Facebook did it in 4 years. We want to try to do it in 4 months. That's the beauty of technology, right? So in countries where gambling is legal, our project will also be available there. So our token will be used for gaming and betting on fights, and also be used in slot machines and casinos. So we'll be posting on all the different cryptocurrency exchanges around the world. And so what we're doing is we're looking for financial partners, in addition to, of course, fighting partners. But we're going to be doing a lot of fundraising. We want to get the money part out of the way first. So we're going to be setting up local funds. I'm meeting with a lot of royal families, with high net worth individuals, so the fancy people in the country, or someone that can attract money to the project so that we can immediately start funding the fights, because fights are expensive. And the bigger, like I'm telling you, right? And the bigger you get, the more expensive it gets. So we want to get a fund set up in countries around the world. So we launch the fights. We announce the fights. We announce the TV show. The money's already there. A lot of projects like this, they work in reverse, and then the money never comes, and the project never gets off the ground. We want to raise the money first, and that's my job. So I've been meeting with people from all around the world. Queen Diambi's she's a really great personality. interested in the project. I was meeting with the Master Buddha from Mongolia. In the United Arab Emirates, there's a lot of the royal families there are interested in getting involved. I've been spending a lot of time in New York, meeting with different ambassadors, and meeting with the King of Cameroon gave us a humanitarian award already. He likes the idea of trying to give this opportunity to fighters. He really thought was cool. So here's how the math works. It's pretty simple. You take 100 million fighters, and let's say conservatively 20% of them want to be involved. They want to be in this contest. The average investment at $100 each gets us to $20 billion. So you can imagine the scale of this thing. We're going to have the money to host the fights. So we have 6 different income streams, right? Money coming in 6 different ways. So we have a different committee leader for each department. We have an African team. You're looking at one of our African leaders right here. This is Coco, who's my partner from China. She's got a lot of good contacts there, and so, as I've already mentioned, they're really interested in hosting it regionally there. And this is our other partner, Fode, who's a ambassador from New York City, who's with the United Nations. So he's going to be touring Africa with us, talking about sustainable development and trying to bring clean water and end poverty and hunger, too. Philippe is in charge of our films. He's from Hollywood. He owns Cinema Libre Studios. And he's going to be inviting Sylvester Stallone to be our chairman. So we'll be hosting. We have a big press release planned. In fact, if you gentlemen give me your information, I'll invite you to the global press conference. You can come cover that. So it'll be all the A-listers from Hollywood. It'll be a pretty fun event. So we're calling this a wake-up call because this project is going to be launched. Our goal is September 1. And so it's going to move very quickly. We've been developing it for, I don't think I told you this, 18 months we've been working on this. But it's time now we're flipping the switch to put this thing in action. And we see it as pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, once in a generation you get a project this cool with this much behind it and Mike Tyson. So again, we're going to invest in fights, in a talent show, action movies, the branded merchandise, and finally the global casino currency. Mike wants you to join him in the ring. So Fight to Fame's not about just making money, it's about making history. That's the end. So what questions do you have? It's a good question. I think the main benefit is attention. You know, you get the whole world talking about, you know, can you imagine if this project was around when Nelson was boxing? When he would have been, he's the type that he's already known worldwide. What would have happened in his career if this project was there? And that's actually, I think, pretty powerful when you think about it, right? If someone in China who had absolutely wasn't watching him in 1989, right? They weren't watching him fight. Had this project been around, he would have been a household name everywhere. He would have been on the TV show, on our website. He would have had the opportunity to make I think a lot more money, right? And would have been an action star. So imagine you could see him in movies, and everyone would be like, "Where's he from?" He's from Ghana. So to me, it's about the attention, because when you put a spotlight on a country, it brings media. What does media do? Gets eyeballs. Eyeballs notice it. Investment comes. Tourism comes, and all of a sudden you've got extra money coming in. Hotels, resorts, restaurants, bars. Everyone's now making more money. So that to me is the biggest benefit of it.
So, me in that idea, how do I get to join if I want to join?
It's so simple. So we'll be on September 1st. We'll be announcing our website and our app. The app's going to be free, of course. You go to the app. You click on. It says. I just saw the page 2 days ago in LA. The website team was together, and it says "Welcome Fighters." You tap on your phone on Welcome Fighters. It says, "Hey, buy a token to register. Fill out the information: name, address, phone number, email, Instagram, Twitter, whatever." And then it says, now film a 1-minute video on your phone about why Mike Tyson should consider you to be, in his contest. and they upload the video, and you're done. That's it. So it's really that easy. And then you'll tell your family about it, because of course your family's gonna want to know. Your neighbors want to know, right? Your cousins want to know, and that they all go to the app. They watch your video. They vote for you. They start voting right away. Then we announce a fight. You're in the fight, and now you go to, because it'll give fighters a chance to build up their social media too, right? You know, all of a sudden you go from 25 friends and followers to 2,500, 25,000. You know, Tyson. I haven't checked Mike's numbers lately, but they're huge. Probably 1 million followers. So.
So what happens if Tyson did not approve you? What happens to your coin, your token?
If Mike doesn't what?
Didn't approve. That's maybe I video myself, I record myself.
Okay, sure.
I send it, and Tyson didn't approve me. I was not.
I don't think he's planning on turning anyone down. He'll just be the judge for who moves along. It's a combination of Tyson and the audience voting. Remember, they get that popularity score. So I think even Mike can be overruled if someone says you get Ghana behind the fighter and everyone's voting for him. Their popularity score goes up and they move on to the next level. It's a good question though.
So in this case, which type of boxes are you considering? Is it the amateur boxes or the professional boxes?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
He said,
Uh-huh.
are we looking at amateur boxers or professional?
Really, both. Mike wants to do. I mean, obviously, he won't put one of your fighters against, you know, a kid. So he'll try to match them up fairly. But he'd like to offer. He knows that the pros, that's where we're going to get the most views. So of course that's going to be the kind of the spotlight. But he wants to do people that are newer to fighting, just to get them in, to give them a chance, give them a shot.
Okay, and we also involve the professional president and the Ghana Boxing Authority, the president. You have the journalists. So
Mhm.
that once it means the whole thing will that.
Mhm. How does it sound to you, to this project? Does it sound interesting? Yes? Okay, good.
We have a lot of fighters in Ghana here, but they don't have the opportunity to be in such competitions and all that stuff. So
It takes exposure and it takes money, right, to get your name out there, and we want to try to provide that. Sure. Can we take a picture together, George? Yeah, come on over here. So George, as the head of the Ghana Boxing Federation, what's your reaction to the Fight to Fame project?
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful, lovely, so that it will expose most of our boxers who are not here. We want to help talent. So with this project coming on, and especially being launched in Ghana, Mike Tyson behind, we will, from here we would like to contact Azuma Nelson, High Court, Joshua Court, to all give their moral support to this initiative, and it's going to help the country Ghana and also our bosses, both amateur boxers and professional boxers. So it's a laudable idea, and it's a laudable project for Ghana. Thank you very much.